Hello and welcome to Film Companion South.
Hi guys.
So this is being recorded on a Friday where two film critics have no films to review. You'll probably be seeing this video sometime next week. But I thought we should just be talking about what's happening, rather what's not happening. So we're just wondering what to do, what to watch. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I think one of the things that has actually been good is that you don't have to wake up early on a Friday and dash to theaters. But I think in 1 week we'll start missing that. Or are you already missing it?
Not really. Like last Thursday and Friday, for instance, I watched movies like Asura Guru and Walter. So I don't know. I think I deserve a break for some time. So I can probably do 2 more weeks of this.
Okay, yeah. But then after that?
After that also, if it's Asura Guru 2 or something, it's okay. I can continue like this. It's okay. It's better.
Yeah, but I think the real bummer is obviously, we are talking about, it's a real health problem. It's a pandemic and, we're just trying to, get through it. So this is our problem is really not like a, anything compared to the actual problem. But this is just basically about, how we are managing to handle this time. And I think one of the things is that I think a lot of people around here are waiting and waiting and waiting without any clarity, especially because there's a whole bunch of big movies that were supposed to be released soon. There was Master, then there's Surare Potru, then there's
Marakkar in Malayalam.
Yeah, and there's Jagame Tandram, and all these things are a bit of confusion right now. And one movie that I must say that I feel very sorry about is Darala Prabhu, which kind of got released and it got a few days of a run and then it was pulled out of theaters because the theaters closed down, which is always a bit of a sad thing because, it's rare when a movie kind of gets good reviews and kind of some traction with the audience, and when that kind of movie, and especially a movie that kind of pushes like the envelope a bit, when that kind of doesn't work, it becomes, it's a bit sad. But then, that's part of the game, I guess.
Yeah. So what's your strategy like in terms of what you're trying to watch in these days when you're stuck at home? Because that's what everybody's trying to do. Do you have like a plan on the kind of or the number of films that you need to finish watching before this kinds of things kind of go back to normal? Or?
So I'm finding like I'm obviously going to catch up on a lot of films that I missed because I was like away at the Berlin Film Festival. That whole period took about a couple of weeks, so I missed a lot of films. I'm catching up on those films. I'm catching up on films like Ayyappan and Koshiyam.
Yeah.
It's just landed on Prime. It's always nice to kind of catch up on movies in a slightly relaxed manner. I think I'm also trying to get recommendations for a TV show that I can kind of watch, without being interrupted by regular work. Because the thing about working for a digital channel is that the work is a little hectic because the teams are small, there's lots of stuff to cover. So I think, your days kind of go on, and I think this is the time you get to breathe a bit, relax a bit, though obviously, you wish it wasn't under these particular circumstances.
Yeah.
So, you wish it was under better circumstances, but whatever it is. So what is your strategy?
Yeah, but the same thing, I think among the film journalists across the country, I think the only people who kind of have an experience of how to deal with this is the Chennai film journalists, because we had the same thing happening a couple of years back when there was a strike.
Yeah.
And the same thing, there's another good film that released on Friday and they went into a strike on the Monday. So there was no films releasing for 40 days. So I think we've all kind of been there in terms of work, dealing with work.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of what I've fallen back into, that pattern, and to think about how, think about stories and articles that are not really time sensitive.
Yeah.
So to work on those kind of things right
now. And also we are really doing, I hope you guys have been watching some of the video essays that we've been putting out. Vishal just put out a video essay that was, I hope you're able to distinguish which one of us is Bharadwaj Rangan and which one of us is Vishal, because otherwise it becomes really difficult.
We're very similar.
Very similar, and there's this, we have masks and all that. So I really hope you're able to distinguish, who's who. Yeah. Yeah, but what's your strategy? Like, what do you mean? Are you watching any particular TV show? You're watching?
No. That's my decision. I'm not going to watch any TV shows.
What?
Yeah, because I don't want to like get committed to like a show. Like I think if this is like a month and a half, if it's going to last a month more, I think I'll end up like I can finish watching about 60 to 70 films. But then if I start restricting that to TV shows, it's going to be like 3 shows or 4 shows.
Right.
And there's no major show that I feel I'm not watching. So I don't want to focus and waste all my time. Not waste, I don't want to spend all my time watching shows. Instead of that, I'm watching a lot of films that I'd always planned on watching, but I now finally have the time to watch.
Like what?
Like for instance in Malayalam, like everybody's seen all the major directors' major films. But I want to see their flop films, their like like for instance I watched a KG George film, Mammootty film. I think that's his latest or last film that released in '98 called Adavakodu Desham. I watched that film and it's pretty awful, but like and I'm glad I watched it. The same thing with other directors. I'm watching their flop films or their short films if I get a chance to watch them. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's what's interesting about this kind of period, because it allows you to watch a lot of things that you keep bookmarking or something and keep wanting to watch, but there is always something new that comes in that you have to cover or write about or do a video review of, and so you end up watching the newer stuff. So now you can actually go back to the older films, I guess, that you either have watched a long time back and you want to watch again. But I think there's quite a few of those out there now available with good subtitles. So I think that's the only strategy that you can follow. And I think like you've always wanted to also catch up on like the world classics, and that's something that
I've got so many unopened box sets and all that, and I thought like I've got a Renoir box set, I've got like Fassbinder films like that's just stuck there, and he's made like 7,000 films, right? So I just want to like at least maybe not watch the entire thing, at least just kind of like control right through the whole thing to kind of see if this is the kind of film that I wanted to watch. And just get an idea.
I think more than that, I think rather than this is the kind of film that you want to watch, I think it's good to get a feel of what that director stood for. Like I keep telling even the students in my class that you don't have to like Citizen Kane. Everybody keeps talking about Citizen Kane. You don't have to like it, but you have to know what Orson Welles did, and why that film is so special. So you just watch it once for the historical value, and if it appeals to you at an emotional level, then go watch other Orson Welles films. But at least that this is what Orson Welles was, or this is what Fassbinder was, or this is what anybody else was. So I think those box sets are great, because long time back when when friends used to come from places like Malaysia, something like that,
Taiwan.
For some reason you get all these box sets of all these amazing filmmakers there, and I used to ask them to bring back these box sets because they're so difficult to get in India. And I have also like quite a few of them that just are there. I think for all film crazy people, it's like books. I always have, I keep buying books, even though I know that I've already have so many books to finish. I think movies are also like that. I mean, I don't buy many movies anymore, but at least there's so many that I have bought and that are there, and that could definitely
this is the time for that.
So one thing I wanted to ask you guys is, let's say we started talking about, I don't know, classic Hollywood films or other kinds of stuff that it's not the typical film companion South. That is, it's not Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. It is like if it's something else, is that going to be of interest? Because that's something that we could certainly look at doing, for at least the period that we are going to go through this. It's interesting, even though you may not want to see us like this, but something that even if it's a video essay or something like that, would something like that be of interest? Because part of this is also we trying to put out stuff, but is that stuff going to be of interest to the viewer? Is something that we also are interested in knowing.
So I also going to watch, like I'm going to rewatch certain films, like that you probably thought the time was too valuable earlier, but now you've got the time, so you're going to rewatch certain films that you've, I mean, for any reason, not because you think the movie is great and needs to be rewatched, but for any silly reason.
I think so because I've been meaning to rewatch the Lady Snowblood films, which are these Hong Kong, Chinese, that kind of, which was one of the inspirations for the Kill Bill films. And I haven't seen them in a while, so I want to know how they stand up now. But I also want to watch some, there are these really cheesy and bad films that you want to watch. I have a friend who actually makes it a point to watch one good film and one bad film a day. You do that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like
one proper film and one light film.
But not necessarily good and bad.
No, like the second film will be like an Adam Sandler movie, so you kind of know what it is, right?
But it's not. Adam Sandler has also made some good, funny comedies.
No, not like Meyerowitz, nothing like that, nothing classy.
But I'm saying even Happy Gilmore and all that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about is like later like crap films. So you know what it is, and you just want to watch it for the sake of watching it. Like
I've never figured that out because there is this. One of my favorite bad films is this Kamal movie called Pagadai Panirendu. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's god awful and it's deliriously bad and it's amazing. It's like I don't want to describe it and spoil it for you, but look out for it. It's called Pagadai Panirendu and it's really some kind of cult classic, I think, in the making, and it should be there because I don't know, it should be out on YouTube or something like that. So if I can find it, that's definitely one of the movies that I might want to watch because it's really one of those cheesy bad, so bad it's good kind of movies. Yeah. You have anything in mind? So
bad it's good. I think I don't look at so bad it's good as light watching. That also takes a lot of effort from my side to watch those movies because
you're not watching it like saying you're going to write about it or something like that.
Not write about it, but it's still something, right? It's still a lot of sincerity because it's a sincerity that makes it kind of So
you remember that sometime back in Facebook they shared that Jaishankar fight sequence. I was so amazed by that fight sequence because yes, on the surface it's awful, you laugh at it, but somebody actually took the trouble to have all those different camera setups.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a bad fight. Yeah. It's all that, but the staging of the fight.
Yeah.
Somebody's actually. That means each setup they've called cut. They've repositioned the camera. They've kind of done that.
Yeah.
And they still ended up with an awful thing.
Correct.
But I'm very touched by the effort that's gone into this to produce this magnificent bit of awfulness.
Correct,
this is like I'm always like I love that because somebody tried and and still they ended up with this badness. So but I think my plan is basically to stay put, wear this mask, do a lot of hand sanitizing and try to keep up the volume that we usually give Film Companion South viewers, but it'll have to be a wait and see things. But meanwhile, I think you guys should let us know what you want to watch under this video, and also maybe try not to comment on the way we look right now because this is very genuine. We're trying to reach out to you. And so any closing message, Vishal?
No, the same thing. Like I think in our generation, something like this is very important because not just in terms of work, but then even with the kind of stuff and the shows that we keep watching, all of us were heading towards a burnout. Not just like in every sense. So this 1 month, I look at it as like a blessing for everybody to kind of just take a couple of steps back and just watch films because you love cinema, not because you need to watch something and put it on Instagram. So I think it's a damn good time for that. So that's how I'm looking at this period.
Yeah, I think it's also, typically that whole, that Twitter madness happens, right? Because everybody wants to be the first person to comment about a particular movie. I'm not talking about critics, I'm even talking about regular people. They just, they want to go to an FDFS or something and comment about the movie and get the word out. If that's not going to happen, then you can actually sit and we're assuming that if you're watching this channel, you really like movies and not just like watching stars and things like that. So if you really like movies, you should really go and watch the films that you've always said. And there's so many lists out there on YouTube or on the internet, which is like basically, 50 best movies of all time,
Yeah.
50 best foreign films of all time. Again, I'm saying that you don't have to like, Tarkovsky or whatever it is that you're talking about. It's not about liking a particular thing. It's not even about, one of the funny questions that sometimes people ask is, but you were brought up in an Indian milieu. How can you, like enjoy this movie or something like that? And I always tell people it's not about enjoying, because in India we grow up with that whole liking or not liking a film. I don't necessarily enjoy a Bresson film or something like that. It's not about
entertainment.
I have a great time watching it or something like that. But I look at it more like an engagement. What am I engaging with? And the more you read and the more you watch, I think you just become a better film viewer. So on that note, thank you again for continuing to watch Film Companion South, and stay safe in these times. Do this, use a lot of hand sanitizer, be safe.
Bye guys.